Ever feel like smartphone upgrades are getting smarter but also sneakier? Like there's always a catch hiding behind the buzzwords. Well, buckle up, because the Pixel 10 series is shaping up to be one of Google's most curious launches yet, and not for the reasons you might expect. Welcome back, viewers! Sam here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more juicy tech updates just like this one. All right, let's jump in. So here's the deal. Google's going all in on uniform chipsets across the entire Pixel 10 lineup. From the high-end Pixel 10 Pro to the budget-friendly A series, everything's running the same core brain. Sounds like a win for performance, right? But here's the twist to make the Pro feel worth that extra $3 Google might be artificially limiting what the base model can do. Yeah, even if the hardware technically can handle it. Take the cooling system, for example. No vapor chamber in the base Pixel 10, just like last year's Pixel 9. That might not sound like a big deal until you're deep to a gaming session or rendering a 4K video and your phone turns into a pocket-sized toaster. Then there's Wi-Fi 7 support. The Pro has it, but the regular Pixel 10 maybe not, despite using the same modem. Even more head-scratching, the camera setup. For the first time ever, the base Pixel is getting a telephoto lens. Amazing, right? But to squeeze it in, Google might be recycling older sensors from the Pixel 9a for the main and ultra-wide cameras. Those sensors are, let's just say, not flagship level. And rumors say the Pixel 10's price could jump 100, so you're paying more but maybe getting less. But wait, it gets more interesting. Google's secret sauce has always been software. The Pixel 9 pulled off surprisingly good results with those same cameras, all thanks to Google's image processing wizardry. So if the Pixel 10 pairs those sensors with the newer Tensor G5 chip, we might be looking at a sleeper hit for photography, especially in areas like hybrid macro mode. Yes, apparently the Pixel 10 could use both the zoom and ultra-wide lenses to deliver macro shots that are way sharper and more detailed than you'd expect. That kind of feature might not sound flashy, but it unlocks a whole new world for mobile photographers. And let's be honest, we all want our food pics and flower close-ups to look good without hauling out a DSLR. Now about that display. If you've ever felt like Pixel screens are a bit rough on the eyes, you're not imagining things. The lower PWM rate on older Pixels could cause eye strain for some people. The Pro model this year might finally fix that, jumping to it 48AH PWM, which isn't perfect, but it's a much-needed step. And guess what? Only the Pro gets it. The base model stuck at 240H. It feels like Google is saying, here's a cool feature, but you'll need to pay extra to actually enjoy it. Yet there are bright spots. Literally. All models are getting brighter displays this year. The base Pixel 10 could hit 2000 nits, while the Pro might touch to 250. Even the Fold gets a 10% boost. So, at least outdoors visibility won't be a problem. Still, it's a strange mix, better brightness and software smarts, but intentional handicaps in other places. Google seems determined to keep the Pro model feeling elite, even if it means holding the regular Pixel back. And that strategy might just work if the upgrades on the base model are still good enough to make people forget what they're missing. The question is, are you okay with that trade-off? Are smart software features and clever camera tricks enough to make you overlook missing hardware perks? Stick around, because in the next segment, we're diving into the Tensor G5's AI improvements, hidden features in Android 15, and how Google might surprise us all with one last trick up its sleeve. It's going to be a wild ride. And speaking of surprises, let's talk about that Tensor G5 chip. This isn't just another routine bump in specs. Google is reportedly redesigning the chip architecture from the ground up, moving to TSMC's Thurnham process for better power efficiency and thermal management. What that means for us: cooler phones, longer battery life, and potentially smoother performance, even when juggling multiple apps, gaming, or AI processing on device. Now here's where things get spicy. Early testers are claiming that Tensor G5 might enable real-time video enhancement using machine learning. We're talking live HDR filters, stabilization, and even instant object removal while recording. Imagine recording your kid's birthday and deleting that one awkward uncle in the background in real time. Sounds ridiculous, maybe, but knowing Google's AI chops, it might be closer than we think. And with Android 15 in the picture, it all ties together. Leaked builds show that Google is planning tighter hardware-software integration than ever before. We're seeing experimental features like AI-driven battery life optimization that adapts to your usage habits hour by hour, smarter notifications that pause alerts mid-sentence if you're on a call or in a meeting, and enhanced on-device dictation that can translate speech into multiple languages as you talk. Not just futuristic, that's downright sci-fi. Plus, there are whispers of a new sensor hub in the Pixel 10 series. Think of it as a mini AI brain running separately from the main chip, constantly learning how you interact with your device. Over time, it could predict your routines, automate actions, or even pre-load apps before you open them. That's not just convenience, that's a whole new layer of intuitiveness. But here's the twist that's raising eyebrows: many of these features might be locked to the Pro variant. Again, Yes, despite using the same Tensor G5 chip, the base model could see some of these AI smarts stripped down or delayed through software. Why? To keep the Pro special. This brings us to the big question, is Google building two different user experiences under the same brand? And more importantly, will users buy into it? We've still got a lot to uncover, including camera testing results, charging speed leaks, and a new Pixel-exclusive AI assistant that might just outsmart Gemini. So stay tuned, because this Pixel puzzle is only just starting to unravel. Alright, let's zoom into camera performance, because this is where things could make or break the Pixel 10 for a lot of users. Early benchmark leaks suggest that while the Pro model retains its massive 50MP sensor combo, the base Pixel 10's telephoto lens might deliver surprisingly crisp shots, even outperforming last year's Pixel 9 Pro under certain lighting conditions. That's wild, considering it's technically a mid-tier device. What makes this happen? Smart software blending. Google's Super Resume, now on its 6th generation, uses multi-frame processing and AI-powered sharpening that can fill in the detail gaps lost in digital zoom. When paired with Tensor G5's real-time learning algorithms, it can literally reconstruct missing pixels on the fly. It's not just enhancement, it's AI artistry. And here's something that'll raise eyebrows. Sources suggest the new AI camera system can detect what you're photographing: food, people, pets, sunsets, and dynamically tweak ISO, shutter speed, and even background blur before you press the shutter. Imagine pointing at your dog and the camera instantly decides to slow down the shutter for a cute motion, blur, tail wag. That's Pixel level smarts, and it's becoming eerily predictive. Now let's talk charging. Finally, we're hearing that Google is ditching the 30W cap and pushing to 455W fast charging on the Pixel 10 Pro. That could mean a full charge in under 40 minutes, which is a major leap from the Pixel 9's sluggish juice-up time. Wireless charging might also see a jump, with Qi 2 compatibility hinted for the entire lineup, meaning magnetic wireless charging is finally on the table, iPhone style. But here's the cliffhanger. Rumors are surfacing about a new AI assistant exclusive to Pixel 10 Pro at launch that could redefine how we interact with our phones. Internally codenamed Pixie. It's said to combine Google Assistant with Gemini's large language model capabilities, creating a hyper-personal, context-aware AI that doesn't just answer queries, it predicts them. For example, if you usually message your team at 9 a.m., Pixie could open Slack and draft your morning update automatically. If it senses your daily commute is longer due to traffic, it could reschedule your first meeting and notify everyone for you. It's like your phone finally becomes an actual assistant, not just a glorified voice search tool. And yes, it might be coming to the base Pixel 10 later, but at launch, it's reportedly Pro only. Because of course it is. So now the big picture is getting clearer. Pixel 10 isn't just about specs anymore, it's about segmentation, subtle nudges that push users toward premium models, and AI being the battleground where future smartphones compete. But it also shows Google's unique confidence. They believe even a limited base Pixel 10 is still better than most other flagships. Let that sink in.